Testing, testing. Can everyone hear me? Testing, testing, testing. Okay, let's just give it another minute for everyone else to stream in. Okay, guys, let's begin today's session. All right, today's session is on idea validation. Just let me enable the chat panel, right? So there's this on your Zoom, there's this place called, there's this function called chat. Feel free to send your questions through there because today we are going to cover a little bit more advanced topic. It's on idea and validation. It's a particular trade management style which is a little bit less used, right? It's the ugly cousin of break even, right? Everyone's very familiar with break even, locking in your profits, right? Letting your trade, be risk free and run, right? But idea and validation is the opposite, right? Idea and validation actually, is trying to help you get out of your trade as soon as possible. Okay. Now, without further ado, let's begin today's session. Right, I'll be passing on the time to Annabelle later, who will take you through the rest of the session. I do need to let you guys know a couple of important links, especially in the if you want to sign up for upcoming webinars. Right, first thing, you go to IronFX.com, go to IronFX School. Right, there are two links which I want to show you over here. One is the webinar, and one is the VIP room. Okay. For the webinars, if you want to see what are the upcoming webinars, just need to come down here, right? Give the page a couple of seconds to load, right? And there you go, right? When you click on English, you can see all the upcoming webinars. Every Wednesday and Thursday, same time, same place, we have the webinars, right? Wednesdays are our educational sessions. Thursdays are our live trading sessions, which you can just tune in and listen to, all right? Now, the next thing is that if you have an IronFX account, you can actually find us, right, in the VIP room. Same thing over here under IronFX School, click on VIP room, and you should be able to find it. In the VIP room, you'll be able to ask us questions on where the markets are heading, right? It's a pretty nice, it's honestly a pretty nice room for you to practice and hone your analysis, right? In there, you can, if you just scroll down, you can see all the different benefits you can get, depending on your IronFX account size, right, on how much you have funded, right, you will get different access levels. Right, bronze, silver, gold, all the way to the platinum and diamond, right? All of it depends on how much you have funded. Okay. Now, how does the VIP room look like? It looks like this, right? Once you come in there, there's all the channels by the side, right? It's a chit chat, there's a fundamental news that we look at, and most importantly, there are the markets. Clicking on any of the markets will load the charts on the left and the charts on the left and the chat on the right, right? So in this example, maybe you're looking at euro-dollar 1 hour. You might be wondering if this is nice level to wait for price to pull back to before taking a trade. You can come in here and say, hey, Hey, Desmond, right? Do you think we should wait for price to rise to this level before a potential bearish move, bearish reversal? What you can do is you can highlight this word level. You can click this button called link object to text, right? And you can select anything on the chart that you just drew. In this case, we're going to click on this button, right? And confirm. So what happens is that once you've linked the text, anyone who is reading it for the first time, all they need to do is hover over this highlighted word and you can see it lights up. Okay, this brings a lot more context to our discussions, right? It helps us better understand exactly which level you're referring to. And then of course I can, I can give you a reaction. I can take then go on a dedicated discussion with you. Here is like, yep, I think so. It's good. All right. So I can have a dedicated discussion with you in this manner. All right. So how this benefits you guys is that you can practice your technical analysis, practice your fundamental analysis. If you have questions, you can run it by us and we'll do our best to really take care of you, when we see the questions. Okay, what you learned today, you can then apply in the VIP room. You don't need to wait for another week to see, before we meet again to have this chat. All right. But yeah, so this covers quite a bit of links that I do want to show you, right? Last link that I want to show you is the IronFX YouTube channel. Go to playlists, right? There is this particular playlist, at least for the English webinars, right? It is called IronFX Webinar Series for Beginners, right? You can click on it and you can see all the different webinars that we've done, right? You can just, you can watch all this. There's also the advanced series, as you can see over here. We cover a little bit more, a little bit tougher strategies over here, right? And we have the intermediate series. You can watch it all over here. And a lot of the previous webinars, like our trade management 1/4, 2/4, the previous two that we did, you can find it in this intermediate series. I'm going to send it in the chat for you guys to see, right? You can tune in if you want to, just in case, if you're covering any of the topics on trade management today, which you're not too sure about, you can refer to this. All right. Now, let me just return back to the webinar. Okay. Before I continue, just to let you guys know, disclaimer, everything in this webinar is educational in nature. So please do your own due diligence before you guys trade. Nothing in this webinar should be construed as investment or trading advice, right? Once again, do your own due diligence before you guys trade. All right. Our host for today is going to be Annabelle, right? She's an analyst here at Everest Fortune Group, a finalist for 2019, 2020, and 2021 for Best FX and Best Equity Research, right? And she'll be taking you through this entire webinar on trade management, particularly idea and validation. The first part of it, we'll really be breaking down the anatomy of a trade, right? That means, what goes into a trade. A lot of people think it's just entry, stop loss, and take profit. But actually, there's so much more to it. There's break even, partial profits, idea and validation, trading stop losses, right? A lot more goes into what makes up a trade. Okay. After that, we'll go into a quick recap on not only your take profit and stop loss placement, but also break even and partial profits. Then we go into the exciting world of idea and validation, right? Just how do you use it, right? What does it mean, right? And some live examples on how you can apply it. Okay. Now, if you have questions, don't hold back. Don't hold back your questions as you ask her. I think it's important that you guys clarify if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll be handing the time over to Annabelle to take over the rest of the webinar. Annabelle, over to you.
Hi guys. Can you guys hear and see me clearly? Let me know in the comment section, yeah, because I have another page that is open, so I can see whatever questions or any comments that you have, any requests, right? Just let me know. Give me 1 minute to adjust. Okay. One second. Okay. So before I start, before I start, yeah, I just want to know if you guys can see the screen clearly. Just let me check, yeah. Okay, in today's session, we'll be going through the third part of the trade management, which is idea invalidation, as Desmond has mentioned, right? Okay, so I'll be going through that. Agenda of the day, anatomy of the trade. I'll be going through also the take profit, stop loss placement, and break even partial profit recap, which is part 1 and part 2 of the series, right? Idea invalidation definition, where to place idea invalidation, and some examples before I go to a live chart if we do have the time. Okay, so let me start with anatomy of the trade. So as beginners, as traders, we often only focus a lot on the entry itself. So spend a lot of time and effort thinking of the entry, where to enter, before we actually take a look at our stop loss and take profit. And this is only the first part. So this often, the break even, the partial profit, trailing stop loss, and idea invalidation are often not even a thought, not even considered, not even a thought that we have, right? Because stop loss and take profit already came in as a second thought, because entry is always first. Because we always are thinking, when is a good time to enter? Is it a good time to buy or sell here? And stop loss and take profit comes in after, as afterthought, right? We'll then enter first before we take a look at, oh, where's the stop loss, or where should we take our profit, what's our RR, right? And then there is this break even, partial profit, trailing stop loss, idea invalidation that is not even a thought that we have, but these are all as important, right? These are all as important. So that's why there is this anatomy of trade that we are going through. So today we are talking about part 3 of 4, which is the idea invalidation. The part where we actually say, hey, we made a mistake on this trade and it's time to give up the trade, or how do we actually get out of this trade, right? And then the part 4 of 4 will be our trailing stop loss. Okay, so a quick recap before I start the session. Take profit and stop loss. Okay, this is very important. So this is the basic or the basis of a trade itself, right? Remember, there is always a major resistance area or a confluence area. If you guys remember what is confluence, right? It's a place where all your key levels or all your fib levels align, okay, forming this resistance zone. Okay, so apart from your trends, your support resistance line, there's also the confluence zone, which you have to take note. Okay, these are the commotion zone, the magnetic zone that prices always like to go back to. So in this instance, always remember, if you are taking profit, always take before TP, before the commotion, right? Because you do not want to end up having many people taking a profit, and then the price actually goes in the other direction, and instead you actually hold on to the trade hoping to get the full 100%. Okay, so your stubbornness actually causes you to miss the whole trade. Okay, so instead of 100% profit, you should always take maybe 80 to 90%. Okay, forgo the 10%. Don't be too fixated to a fixed take profit level, right? Always take before, and then stop loss always beyond, meaning above your magnetic zone. The reason why it's above is because you need that special or the additional buffer zone for price to react off, because price tends to go to the magnetic zone to test the levels, right? You just want the additional buffer in case you get stopped out. Okay, remember to be careful of the major resistance area, or we call it the magnetic zone. Okay, so this is the take profit and stop loss. Then we have the break-even placement. So where do you actually put your break-even placement? Do you put at your entry? Do you put before or do you put after? Right? So let us take a look at this. Break-even is a level where you are in profit and recognizes that there is a risk of reversal. So often, break-even is where you move your take profit or your stop loss. It's often where you move your stop loss. Yeah. Okay. Later I'll explain why I say this. So break even is often where you move your stop loss. So for example, you are in a trade. Okay, let me erase this. It's slightly messy. Okay, so for example, we are in a trade. Okay, there is one bounce off, two bounce, and we think like, hey, you know, price would actually come back down because it's a resistance that has actually form a double top. Maybe it would form a triple top. So we actually, okay, maybe for this chart, sorry, they are playing a breakout. Okay, so this will be the entry. So they are hoping that you break out, and then this is the take profit level. Okay, let me clarify. They are hoping for a breakout in this instance to take profit at this level, the green zone. Okay, so for example, if I have a buy entry here, okay, and then my price goes up, blah blah blah, my stop loss would be probably here. Okay, beyond my previous this is the support level, right? So it has to be beyond because you want the buffer. Okay, so beyond that swing low here, so your stop loss is here, original stop loss. Okay, but hey, you see, like, you realize that a price is not actually going in, it's not quite moving in a direction that you want to at this point in time, and you are afraid that, you know, price might reverse or there might be other news, just like how there was a Russian news at 2 to 3 p.m. today, you know, and then it caused the DXY to actually spike up. You know, all the other currency pairs are moving, so there could be sudden news, or it's just not in your favor, hence you move your stop loss to your entry, right? This is a modified stop loss. So break even placement in this instance, it means that you are in profit. Okay, so you move your stop loss. So break even in this instance means that you are in profit, and then you want to secure or you want to protect your trade. So you move your stop loss to your entry. Okay, so you move your stop loss up here. In case it actually comes back down, you are protected. Or some people, they prefer to, you know, they want to take slight profit. You can, so you can put your stop loss slightly above your entry level. Okay, so you would have some form of profit instead of a full break even. Okay, so what it means here is, it is basically saying if I am right, price should go all the way to my target, but if it goes back to entry, I'm wrong and I should get out. Okay, so essentially break even placement means you don't make money, but some people, depending on your own trading style, they like to, you know, put it slightly above. Okay, now partial profit placement. So what is partial profit? So for example, you're in a trade and, you know, you do not want to wait, or you feel like you don't want to go through the turmoil, or you know that maybe in a couple of hours there will be some news and you want to get out of the trade. For example, this is your buy, this is your take profit. Okay, in between you should take some partial profit, okay, in case, you know, the news in 2 hours actually comes out not that great for your currency pair, for example, USD yen or major news that might impact it. So some people, they prefer to take a partial profit instead of waiting for the full TP. So in case, you know, price reverses, you still have this much of profit that you made previously and taken. So today's topic is actually quite simple, and the topic of idea invalidation. It's a very simple and easily understandable topic itself. So I'll run through it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section, or if you want me to run through any of things that I said and you couldn't understand, right? So any idea what is idea invalidation? Anyone? Okay, it might be quite foreign to some of you guys. So in simple terms, the invalidation point in FX is the point at which you would be willing to close out your trade if the market moves against you, right? So for example, if you buy here, the buy point, and then your stop loss is here. Your idea invalidation is usually a point of confluence, right? Because remember, your point of confluence is all the fib levels, all your support resistance, or the magnetic zone. So your stop loss should always be beyond. Hence, there is my stop loss above, correct? So if I have a buy entry here, and then my price came, no, sorry, my stop loss, this should be a sell. Sorry, this should be a sell. So if it moves against me and then it comes to my idea invalidation region, I will know that, hey, you know, I should be worried and I should be telling myself that this was a mistake, a wrong trade. I should be looking for a way to get out. Okay, so idea invalidation is when it's a point where you know that you should be closing your trade soon, or you should be finding ways to get out of the trade as soon as possible. So this point is important to consider when you place your trades, as it can help you to avoid all the unnecessary losses. So in trading, right, obviously you want to maximize your profits and you want to minimize the losses, correct? So all these trade management styles, they help you to your break-even points, your partial take profit. They actually try to aim and target this, maximize profit and minimize losses, correct? So knowing where your invalidation point lies can help you stay in control of your trading strategy and make sure that you do not lose any more money than you have. So when the idea invalidation is placed usually before the stop loss, it is in the zone of confluence. So always remember, it's placed before the stop loss and usually in the confluence zone. Okay, or maybe some key levels, your key support or your key resistance. Okay, it's also a point where you admit that you might be wrong in this trade. You made a mistake. Price is going against you, and how should you get out? Okay. And remember previously, when I mentioned that your break even, right? Your break even point is when you move your stop loss to your entry, correct? Because in the break even situation, you are in profit. Okay, but in this instance where we are talking about the idea invalidation, right? Most of the time you are already in the red, so you are already in the loss. Okay, you're already in the loss. Hence, you can only move your TP to your entry. So that's the main difference between these two. Okay, if you need to, you can have a screenshot. It's quite easily understandable, I guess, right? Because for idea invalidation, most of the time you are already in your close to your stop loss, right? Because your stop loss will be here. Ideal invalidation is usually slightly before, which is a confluence zone. So you are already pretty close. There's nothing you can do. So the best case scenario is for price to actually touch your II and reverse back to your entry. Okay, or else worst case scenario is you hit your stop loss. Okay, there's two scenarios to it. Okay, so for ideal invalidation example, okay, ideal invalidation is usually placed before your stop loss. It is the level where you basically admit that you are wrong and you have to get out ASAP. Okay, it's totally wrong trade. So when this level is reached in the purple zone, okay, is the ideal invalidation is in purple. When the level is reached, your take profit is moved to your entry. Highlight take profit, okay? Because you're already in the red, you can't move your stop loss forward. It doesn't make sense. So you move your take profit to the closest, to as close or to your entry level, okay? Giving you a small chance to get out at break even. So this is the best case scenario, okay? To get out at break even. This is like your, you trying to salvage the whole trade or trying to protect or minimize your loss as much as you can, okay? So your entry point is here. For example, you are looking at a sell. Yeah, so this in this situation is sell because, for example, you're looking for a reversal here, given that, you know, hey, it's a double top, it might form a triple top. So original take profit is here, you are looking for a sell, okay? And then stop loss would be your, stop, this is your II. So your stop loss would be beyond. Always remember, stop loss is beyond. Take profit above. Before, right? Take profit before your magnetic zones or before your resistance level, support levels. So price is originally going in the direction that you are wishing for because your take profit is here, right? However, it goes beyond, it reverses, bounces off, and then it touches your break, touches your entry level. This is where you should be slightly worried. And then if it goes beyond, this is already you're already losing money. Okay, so it goes beyond your entry level and touches your II, and you know that, okay, this is a mistake, a wrong trade. How do I actually get out? So at this instance, when it touches my II, I would move my profit back here. In some situation, if there is a bounce back, most of the traders, they like to think that, hey, you know, there's a chance that it might go a little bit into my profit levels. Maybe I should wait, or maybe I should just move my take profit levels here. But no, do not do that, because that's a trap. Most of the traders, they like to do that. You should, when it touches your II, you should already know that, you know, it's a wrong trade. Prices are not in your favor, it's going against you. So don't risk that 2% or that 3% just to, you know, get stopped up. Okay, so always, if it touches your II, just move your take profit levels back to your break even point. So modified take profit, manage to get out of the trade at break even before price rolls further to stop you out. Okay, so idea invalidate, it means that you admit we are wrong and move take profit entry to entry. This hopefully gets us out of this losing trade. So it's idea invalidation is also kind of like a, yeah, you know, you try to salvage the whole situation to minimize losses, right? So like I've mentioned, for II, it is moving your take profit to your entry because you can't move your stop loss forward given that you are already in the red. So it's kind of only hoping that, you know, price would come back to your entry level and you know, you just get out. So it's sort of like hoping or salvaging the whole situation here, okay, for idea invalidation. Whereas for break-even point, you are already in profits. Okay, so you do not have to worry about anything else. You just need to know that in case, you know, prices actually come back down, I'm already at my break-even line. You know, I wouldn't have any losses. So these are the tools, or these are the tools that traders use, that some of us use to minimize or to protect our trades. Okay, there's nothing wrong with making a wrong trade or you know, making a mistake. Okay, because most of us, we like to, when we enter a trade, we always think that, you know, this trade is definitely right. If not, we would have entered it, right? With all the effort and all the time and all the focus and how we prioritize the entry. Hence, we always hope that, you know, it will go in a direction that we want. But idea invalidation, break-even points, to know where your stop loss is, these are all as important. Okay. Okay, now let's try, let me explain some this example before I move to a live example. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. Let me get a sip of water. Okay. So we have a entry point here where we are looking for a buy. Okay, we'll take profit here. So always take profit. It is a 50% tip level as well. And then we have identified our confluence stop loss area, which is our 127.2% extension and negative 27.2 expansion based on the fib level here. Okay, so we have entry, we have a take profit, we are looking for a long position at so if my confluence zone is here, would this be my stop loss level? Correct, because this is my buy entry, this is my take profit. So should my stop loss be here? Or what would that be? Should my stop loss be there, or should my stop loss be above, or should my stop loss be here exactly, or should it be at A, this level, above, or at B, below? I have some answers. Most of them says that it's right here at the exact stop loss where I drew the stop loss. But if you remember my previous slides on the stop loss and take profit placement, always remember stop loss beyond. Take profit before. Okay, so given this case, if this is the level that I am looking at a 50% retracement level, I wouldn't take my take profit exactly here. I would take slightly before. And if my confluence zone is here, where all my commotions or all the resistance are gonna happen here, I will put my stop loss beyond, right? After. So your stop loss should be here. This level is the II, my ideal invalidation. Okay, remember, your ideal invalidation is often a zone of confluence because your stop loss is always after. Okay, ideal invalidation equals your confluence zone, or the level where there are a lot of commotions, if it's easier for you to understand or remember. So it's a confluence zone or a commotion zone. I would like to call it commotion zone or magnetic zone, okay, whatever. And then your stop loss is always after. Okay, so if my stop loss is here, for example, my II is before. So stop loss is always after. Okay, if my II is here, my stop loss is here. Okay, remember. Okay, so back to the chart. Okay, so stop loss is placed after my confluence zone. This is my II, and then this is my stop loss. Ideal invalidation, my stop loss. Okay, entry, take profit, stop loss in place. Now let's take a look. Price actually came all the way down. Okay, it didn't even bounce off here, so it actually came crashing down. Bam, hit your II. This is the point where you should tell yourself, okay, this is a very bad move. Okay, no matter how much thought, effort you have put into placing this trade, you thought like, you know what, this is a very nice double bottom momentum. Okay, or there are a lot of confluence zone, and then you have calculated everything else. Just admit that you're wrong, because it didn't even bounce off. It came all the way down, touch your ideal invalidation. Okay, at this moment, you should think of ways, because there's only two scenarios that's possible. One is to hit your stop loss, which obviously nobody wants that to happen. Or number two, you try to get out, meaning you bring your take profit back to the entry, because that's the only way. That there are only a few things that you can do here, right? So the best case scenario is hoping that, price would come back to this magnetic zone to test again, where you just get out of the trade ASAP, because you already know that price is not in your favor. Okay, I understand that when it comes back here, some of you might be thinking, hey, there's a chance that price might go a little bit further into my entry, or even further, and then this might be my 10% gain, okay, or my 2% gain, okay, depending. But what I'm trying to say here is that you shouldn't be greedy over this, because you are already almost at the stop loss, and you should be looking to get out of the trade ASAP, looking for ways to salvage and minimize loss. Okay, so move the take profit levels down to your entry, and hope that price will reverse from the II instead of stepping out. Okay, most times it will come back to the magnetic zone to test again. Okay, it did. Okay, out at break even before it hits my stop loss. Okay, so more often than not, people always wanna get the 1 to 2% return, when it bounces off the ideal invalidation, but try not to go to that zone. Learn how to manage this this kind of situation, where you already know that the trade, the direction of the trade or the currency pair is not in your favor at all. Just admit that you're wrong, okay, because these are all little things that affects your habits and your psychology of how you trade. You know, over time it will become a habit itself. So I think this is a good habit to learn how to idea invalid, to know when your idea is invalid instead of thinking that your trade is always correct. Okay. Any questions, let me know in the comment section before I move on to the live charts for real life examples on how to place. Okay. Okay, let's move on to my live chart. Probably can take a look at one of the examples before I move on to my next webinar. So it might be slightly rushed, but we could do one live chart. Okay, in this chart, I will give you an example. Wait, I shouldn't use it. I'll give you an example of the whole part 1, 2, and 3, meaning your stop loss placement, your take profit stop loss, your break-even partial profit, as well as your idea invalidation. I'll try to combine it all together. Okay. Okay. Is this all the XY? Okay. Okay. Let's try. Okay. So let's take a look at this chart. Okay, for example, if I were going for a short, right? Thinking that this is just an example. So I'm taking DXY. We're looking at DXY now. I'm looking at a USD weakening. Okay, for example, because yes, it's at an all-time high, and tomorrow, or rather this tonight, there will be some key news. If you guys know, the Fed is gonna speak again. And I'm thinking that maybe, you know, price would reverse. Okay, so we are looking at a sell entry here. Okay, and I'm looking at, this is just solely for example purposes. Do not take it as a real trading advice. Yeah. Okay, so this is your stop loss should always be above your confluence or whatever resistance support levels that you have. Okay, that's your stop loss above. Okay, the 127 extension is the only confluence I have, because in DXY is at an all-time high, and I have to scroll back all the way to, you know, year 2002 to have another benchmark for. Okay, so we'll just stick to one resistance level for now. Okay, just for example purposes. So this is my II, correct? Because your stop loss is beyond your II. Okay, your II is usually slightly below. We have a sell entry here at my previous high. Okay, take profit, I'll probably put it here because, give me one sec, take profit here because this is a key, you know, support level which the prices has failed to break. I will put it here. It's probably my, let's see, 23, 30, or 50. Okay, it's about my 50%, around my 50% retracement level. So, okay, this is my, let's see whether there is any more. Okay, not as entirely. Okay, maybe not. But anyways, okay, so this is my 50% retracement level, which is my take profit. Oh, yeah, that's a 60. Okay, this one also. So my confluence. Okay, sorry. Okay. If you guys can see me, because the computer just, the session just went blank. Okay, let me know in the comment section. Okay, can you guys hear and see me? Hello, I didn't start from the beginning. Can we get links to training? Okay, I will send the link later on here because all these are recorded sessions. I'll paste a link here for you to rewatch it. Let me know if you can see and hear me because the session just went blank for like a 5 seconds. Okay, I will continue with the session. Okay, so my sell entry is here. Take profit. Take profit here. My stop loss is here. Beyond my idea invalidation zone here. Okay, I'll use it as purple. Okay, light purple. Yeah. Okay, so we know stop loss, take profit. Okay, always place it at always place your stop loss beyond. Okay. Take profit. Oh, okay. So if your if there is a zone here or there is a level here that tells you that, hey, you know, there might be some resistance going on, always take profit slightly before, okay, because you do not want to come to this zone and having go through the emotional turmoil. You just take 80% profit and that's it. Okay, stop loss always beyond because you need some buffer. You know, you need some buffer zone here. This is the II is the zone where, you know, prices will come here and have some commotion. So usually it will reflect it off. Okay, stop loss is above, or we call it beyond. Okay, so that is for your part 1 series, stop loss, take profit. Part 2 series where we talk about your break even. I mean, where's the, okay, your break even. Your break even. Break even is always usually means that you are in profit and you wanna be let me think how to phrase it. In profit, not want to risk any losses. Okay, so you're technically in profit, but you do not want to risk any losses. Hence, stop loss, 2, and 3. Okay, so this is what break even means. Usually you are in profit already, and then you are afraid that, you know, there might be any reversal, so you put your stop loss to the entry level. Okay, but usually this tends to happen when it moves a certain point or a certain percentage into your profit. Okay, not like a 1-2 pip move. I mean, depending on what's your risk appetite like, most of the time it usually has to move a certain level before you move your maybe before you move your before you move your stop loss to entry, or you are very certain that, you know, that there will be news that is in favor of the direction of the currency or the market direction. Okay, and then so this is your break even, and then you have your partial profit. So partial profit, as is self-explanatory. Okay, so it means that you're in profit and you do not want to lose any part of it, or you do not want to go through the turmoil of waiting, or you know that in a couple of hours there will be news that are coming up. You just want to take that profit off the table. So you can take partial profit and leave the rest of the trade running. Okay, so that is partial profit. And then we have the last part, part 3, I mean, which is today, your idea validation, which also means that you are already in loss. Okay, you're already making losses. And you want to salvage situation by moving take profit, because it's not possible to move your stop loss to entry. Okay, so this is the last, this is today's session. So this is the II. So what happens here is, if price actually goes down here, you take profit, that's great. Okay, if not, price comes here and you feel like, hey, there might be news in 2 hours, you are afraid, you can take partial profit here, take profit here, take partial profit, and let the rest of the trade run. Okay, this works as well. Or if prices came all the way here, you feel like, hey, I should move my stop loss to my sell entry, because I do not want a scenario where I have to go through the emotional turmoil when my price actually come up here. Okay, so you move your stop loss to your sell entry, also possible. And then the last part, which is idea invalidation, is when price comes down slightly and then bounce up to your pass your sell entry to your idea invalidation. This is the part where you have to admit that you are wrong, and you are hoping that you could get out of the trade ASAP. Okay, so you are hoping that price will actually come back to test your resistance level here at your sell entry. So move your take profit up here and hope for the best case scenario where prices actually come back here to tap you out or stop you out of the trade. In the worst case scenario, it would stop you out, but best case scenario is to get out of the trade itself. Okay, so I've come to the end of the session today. I hope you guys have learned as much as I did. I will paste this. Wait, give me 1 second. Okay, this will be the page where you can watch all our sessions. Okay, from previous past few weeks. If you want to tune into today's session, you just give it a couple of days, maybe by tomorrow or the day after, it should be uploaded. This is a recorded session itself. So this is the link that I've pasted there for you to rewatch the series, today's series, right? Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys next week. Thank you.